Are you pumped up? You should be. It's Monday. Welcome back to Monday. Welcome to Student of the Gun Radio. I am in the GCOE, the glass case of emotion.
You know how down here they say like the GPT is Gulfport?
The ATL.
Yeah, you're in the GCE.
I'm in the GCE. Yo, what's up in the GCE? Glass case of emotion. You know where we got that from? We got that from, I've never seen it put that way, GCOE, with Sally. And we are happy to report that the glass case of emotion is 100% fly free.
Yeah, I was about to say it's protected now by a fly gun.
Yeah, that's right. We have a fly gun. So thank you,
Sally.
Sally.
Yeah, Sally sent us one of those little.
It was Brown Santa arrived early.
Yeah. Little fly gun for Dad to shoot the flies.
You know, I've got a suggestion for our friends at Gun District. You know how
make their videos look better.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. No, you make them appear exactly. So, you know, on Facebook.
I was talking about when you directly upload one.
Oh, no. On Facebook, when you share a YouTube video directly to that, it automatically gives you a thumbnail image and a click bar or a click little, the play me triangle. And we had Zach update our Gun District page on Student of the Gun, and he did the Century Internationals. We reviewed the TP9 essay in our homeroom segment. And so he put it in there, and the link is there, and you can click on it, but there's no thumbnail.
There's no preview.
Yeah, there's no preview. They got to fix that. It's got to be fixed, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure. I know.
I'm actually going to email them right now and leave that as a suggestion because they usually listen. If you haven't,
yeah, they do.
If you have an idea for an upgrade for them, contact them and let them know because they like to listen.
Even if it's a single D, not a double D. If it's a single D upgrade, not a double D upgrade. A single dose of pimpin'.
Oh, I was going to say I like either size.
Big butts and I cannot lie.
Yeah.
So, but no, seriously, Gun District. Gun District is the firearms-friendly social media. You don't ever have to worry about getting banned because you put a picture of your favorite blaster, or you were holding a picture, or you're holding a picture. You're holding your favorite blaster, or did you see that nonsense? Yeah, you did. How about you guys out in the Student of the Gun audience, where this little bit chick, her husband was like asleep on his bed with the infant.
Or no?
We can. I mean, we're talking about social media and crap and whatnot.
No, I meant, are we going to talk about it like in a in-depth story or?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think there's that much to talk about.
Yeah, well, I'm just here's the deal. There's a picture of this guy, and it was supposed to be like she walks in and here's her husband, and here's this little infant child in a little baby rocker, and we're not talking about a toddler. We're talking about an infant child that cannot get up and walk around or anything, right? So the dad is like exhausted, passed out right next to the baby. And on the nightstand, there's obviously it's a firearm, right? So all the vag-tastic crybabies in America, the hoplophobes, they lost their cookies and started demanding that he be, I love the post that said that he be arrested and charged with being a bad father. Okay.
Because he wanted to protect
Calm down, hippies. So my point is this. If you post your pictures on Gun District, I don't think you have to worry about that. I don't think that the hoplophobes and the bedwetting hippies are going to be perusing Gun District. It would probably, if the bedwetting hippies were to peruse Gun District, they would lose consciousness. They would pass out from the sheer fright of it all. The fact that there are so many guns available to the peasants, and it would shock them, shock their sensibilities. Well, speaking of pro-gun people, were we speaking of pro-gun people? I think we were. Last week, I guess it's been about a week or so ago, we did a little bit of pimping on our social media. We had our official AAFU, that's the American Association of Firearms Users, and we don't need your permission. The official coffee mugs came in. That's right. So we put pictures on, we put them on our Instagram account. I'm pretty sure we put one on the Facebook, didn't we, Jared? If we didn't, shame on us. I'm pretty sure we did. Facebook, Instagram. A lot of you guys have been, a lot of you folks out there have been jumping onto the Instagram. The Instagram is really fun. I give Zach, we kind of have a picture of the day thing. And, we put it up there. And it's been kind of ramping up here lately. So if you do the Instagram thing, please join us. It's just Student of the Gun. Basically, everything is Student of the Gun / whatever. Facebook / Twitter / Instagram /
except for YouTube. YouTube is / Student of the Gun TV.
Yeah, Student of the Gun TV.
Or Student SOTG Homeroom.
SOTG Homeroom. So anyway, long story short, here's the deal, hippies. The official coffee mug. So you want to annoy somebody at your office? You know you do. Get one of these. You're like, well, I work in an office where people are all cool. Well, get one anyway. People will talk about it.
Get one for them then.
Yeah, get one for them. But it says it has the official AAFU eagle on one side, and then you flip it over and it says, in quotes, because we don't need your permission. I don't know who said that. They should have patented it. They should have trademarked that.
You and your union need to go somewhere else, okay?
Yeah, me and my union.
No, but before we... I didn't mean to change subjects already, so because I have something to say. Go to... I was going to say studentofthegun.com. Go to American Association of FU.com. And Jeremy took the time to write a little book. It says the No Excuses Guide to Concealed Carry. You can click on that and give us your email address there, and it'll automatically be sent to your email. But the reason I want you to do that is so you can get not only the free book, but you can also get updates for, like, when the coffee mug came out. He ran a promotion special. At least I think he did. I don't want to lie too much, but he was doing...
No, he was doing a giveaway. He did a special, you can win the very first one of these in existence.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. So that's how people found out about it. We send you guys an email, or we don't. He does. Mm-hmm. He has control of AAFU now. We're just the puppets on a string.
We're not even that, I don't think. We're the people watching the show. But do yourself a favor. Go to American Association of FU.com. And he updated the website. It looks way better. Don't you think, Jared? It looks way better than it did.
What?
The AAFU website.
Oh, yeah.
The American Association of Firearms Users, FU. It looks way better than it did look before. I mean, not that it looked bad before, but it looks better now. You know? It's funny how when you see something and it's been upgraded, you're like, wow, I didn't realize how much better this could look.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Instagram account.
Yep.
They upgraded the Instagram.
I don't know. Mine's not upgraded.
Oh, isn't it? Mine looks... I looked at it, I'm like, wow, that looks way better than it did. Because now, when you click the pictures to open it, it's larger. Remember before, it was only like a certain size?
On actual Instagram?
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, we don't need to talk about...
You can click pictures and open them?
Yeah.
What?
Instagram.
Yeah, mine's not like that. But okay.
I'm right here. So there you go. There's a picture of yours truly wearing his Pipe Hitters Union shirt. So the thumbnail's actually larger than they used to be. So the thumbnails are bigger initially. Then you click it, and bam, it's full size, or almost full size.
That's
it's
what
like
she said.
3/4 size. And if you turkeys out there want to know what I was all dressed up for this weekend, last weekend we posted a picture of me where it was pouring rain. You're like, well, get out in the rain, quit being a wimp. I will get out in the rain, but I'm not taking my $2,000 video camera or whatever. How much?
That's more than that.
I'm not taking a digital video camera out in the pouring rain. So, bite me. But once it let up, we went out and we finished our filming. You're like, well, what were we filming? It's like Jared said.
Doesn't matter.
You got to wait and see. It's going to be part of the new grad program. We're going to be blowing your socks off. If you have socks on, you better secure them with duct tape.
Here's the deal.
Because we're going to blow them off.
I laughed at as I was putting this video together. I had to watch it like 5 or 6 times when I was done because it was so funny.
Do you want to tell on yourself that you burst out laughing during one of the takes and we had to restart over?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be in the outtakes.
Yeah, he lost his stuff. He lost his military bearing for just one moment there. That's what they call that. It's called losing your military bearing, Jared. Yeah. But that's all right. We're not going to talk about social media crap anymore. We're not going to talk about coffee cups anymore. We're going to talk about, since it's Monday, our SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week.
I was just seeing how long you could go.
Hi, this is Britt from just south of the Great White North in Minnesota. I've been listening for a while now. I've noticed that you're an avid reader. Can you expound on what you read and your recommended reading list? For example, your must-reads or your should-reads. I have my copies of Political Thought, American Revolution, Patriot Fireteam, Stoop to the Gun, and Dynamic Freedoms on the way. I'm looking forward to diving in. Also, as you and Jared are also into watching movies, check out Tinkerbell and the Legend of the Never Beast. Yes, I have a daughter, and yes, I still have my man card. Thinking Stoops the Gun can probably pick out a few parallels to our current society. Thanks. You guys have a great day.
Well, rock on, brother. Jared, you want to tell him what he needs to do to claim his free bottle of 9mm plus P from SWAT Fuel?
I almost forgot that that's what you get when you do
That's
that.
what you get. That's why you're the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week.
Yep. You, if you want your free bottle of 9mm plus P, I need you to email Alex, ALEX, at studentofthegun.com. Send her your name, your mailing address, all your information, include your email. Please type that into the body. And I was looking over here. This is kind of making me. It's I don't know if it was Brad or Brett because Google doesn't know how to translate. And I'm pretty sure he said Brett, but the thing on here says Brad. So Brett.
From Minnesota.
Yep.
A, all right. Well, you know who you are. Go ahead and send us your information, and we will get that right out to you. Well, we will give it to SWAT Fuel, and then they'll get it right out to you, and that's how that works. But let's talk about recommended reading. Well, first and foremost, if you're not reading today, you're wrong. If you're listening to me and you're like, oh, I don't have time to read. Yes, you do. I guarantee you have time to read. If I followed you around during the day, I could tap you on the shoulder, and I could say, you know what, you could have just read. And you say, well, yeah, I read all the time. I have a phone. No, it doesn't count. Well, what do you mean it doesn't count, Paul? It kind of really doesn't count. Texting back and forth with people is not reading, all right? I mean, I understand that you have to read the words. Don't write me letters. What I'm telling you is that a mind needs books like a sword needs a whetstone. And yes, I stole that from George R.R. Martin. I'll send you a nickel. But it's absolutely 100% spot on. You've got to keep your mind sharp. People ask me, or not so much lately because I don't do all that much print. Well, what am I talking about? Yes, I do. I used to do a lot of magazine articles. I was doing like 30, 40. 1 year I did like almost 50 articles in 1 year. When I was writing magazine articles, written hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles. And people were like, oh, I want to be a writer. What do I need to do? And I say, you need to read. And they give you that weird face like, what? No, I want to write. Yeah, if you want to be a writer, you need to read. Most professional writers, people that make their living writing, are the most well-read individuals you will ever find. Well, because you're sharpening your mind. You're honing the blade that is your brain. And there's nothing quite like picking up a dead tree version of a book and actually holding it in your hand and reading it. Yes, I know we can get away with something. It's way more convenient when you're going to the airport or you're waiting in the doctor's office or you're doing whatever to pull out your what do you got there? Galaxy 6, Galaxy 7,
Note
Galaxy
4.
2, Note 4, your Galaxy Note 4, and to open your reader, your Amazon reader, or your Fire reader, or your Kindle reader, and read. I got that part. But you still want to avail yourself to dead tree paper versions of books. And folks, let me tell you what, there are a lot of them out there that are good. And I don't even know where to start. Quite frankly, there's so many, but I'm looking right now, literally, no kidding, sitting in the glass case from Motion Studios, and I'm looking at a pile of books that I've either read once already and I'm going back through again or in the middle of. Federalist Papers is an easy one. The Principles of Political Economy by John Stuart Mill. That's a heavyweight. Okay, that's a heavyweight one. The complete John Locke collection. Another one. I've got the Dynamic Freedoms, which is an easy read. Book of Five Rings, Art of War, Handgun Combatives by Dave Spalding, who we just had on the grad program. If you missed that, you really missed out. Sorry about your luck. Don't Tread on Me, a 400-year history of the America at War. Fantastic book. Winning is a Habit by Gary George, which is full and filled with quotes from the great Vince Lombardi. Of course, our caller mentioned The Political Thought of the American Revolution by Clinton Rossiter. If you secure no other book, get that book. I'm not even joking with you. I'm not even kidding. Get the Clinton Rossiter book. That book should be in every high school in the United States of America, but it won't be because it doesn't fit in with the current curriculum of political correctness. It actually makes you think. Do you guys know why we teach children arithmetic? Do you know why we teach human children math? It's not because we want them all to be scientists. It's not because we think that little Jimmy is going to be an engineer someday. Why do we teach children math, Jared?
Because it teaches them to problem solve.
Absolutely. Math is important because it teaches children problem-solving skills. It teaches them to use their analytical brain, not their emotional brain, which is what we're all about today in these psychotic institutions of propaganda that we call public schools. Yeah, they're not about analytical thinking. They're all about emotive thinking. Do you guys, this is a far right turn, but what the hell is my show? Everybody in America thinks that the whole world, that every human was raised and then learned this little thing called deductive reasoning. You know what that is, right? You've taken it for granted. You were taught it when you were little. You go to A to B to C. How do we find the problem? Well, why is the car not running? Have you tried to turn it on? Okay, deductive reasoning is really simple. It's when in 1995, when you bought a new computer from Dell and you couldn't get it to work, so you called the 800 number, and the guy from Dell says, all right, step number 1, is the computer plugged in? Oh, it is? Okay, good. I need you to look underneath the computer. I need you to look and make sure. Okay. Step number 2, did you push the on button? And you're like, oh, that's stupid. No. Do you know how many call centers, they have a battery of questions, and usually by the time they get to the third or fourth, the guy's like, oh, yeah, it's working now. Thanks. Can I do anything else for you? No, I'm good. Have a nice day, Chip. So that's deductive reasoning. And you think that everybody was raised that way. Most people, or not all people were. Overseas, there is this thing called not deductive reasoning, but inductive reasoning, where you see a problem and you project the solution onto the problem. Not necessarily because, I'll give you this is how it was explained to me when I was overseas working with the Saudis and the Hajj and so forth. And they explained to us, they're like, look, they don't get deductive reasoning. They don't go A to B to C to find the problem. He said, this is what they'll do. They pull the Mercedes into the garage and they say, it's not working. And you say, okay, what's the problem? They say, well, it's a 1996 Mercedes Model 500, blah, blah, blah. You're like, no, I get that part. What's wrong with it? They don't get this is how you find the problem, the 1, 2, 3, 4, this problem solving. Because they've been taught to basically project their thinking onto the problem. And that's where we're at in the United States of America today. We have kids that don't ever read real books. Seriously.
I was just wondering how you got on that subject, and then you went back to the real books thing. So
thank you.
There we go.
Oh, I'm with you. And you need to read books. Let me tell you what. You want to read a book that's valuable? Read a book that's more than 100 years old. Because it was written before everyone was so concerned with everyone else's feelings. And, well, I better not write about bacon because it might, the Oxford Press might not accept my text because it might offend some Hodge somewhere. There's a lot of books today that were written, or that are available today, that were written 100, 200 years ago, that couldn't be written today, or probably would never be written because they'd be afraid of hurting someone's feelings. Like the John Locke collection. John Locke wrote most of those works over 300 years ago. You read them and you're like, dude, this guy was a freaking prophet. He's detailing the problems that we're having right now in the United States of America. In 1689, he was writing about that. It's mind-boggling. Did
like
you
when
say
you put your
mind-boggling?
thoughts in a bottle?
Like when things are so crazy that you're Thoughts are trapped in a bottle. Do you know somebody didn't get that the other day? I don't know. I dropped that, and they gave me the stupid look like, what? Look it up. Duck it.
So
duck mind bottling.
Did you go through any of the... No, you didn't.
Which one?
Brett from Minnesota. I'm pretty sure it's Brett. I'm going to go to studentgunradio.com, click on episode SOTG 190. Is that what this one is, right?
Yeah, this is 190.
190, and I'm going to put... Well, actually, Zach's going to do it, but there's going to be links to every one of our recommended reading books in there.
Yeah, it's called the Patriot Bookshelf, and the links are in there.
Yep, the Patriot Bookshelf. The links will be in that specific post for 190. And also, when Student of the Gun, when I'm done getting that site together, I'm working on it right now in the background. And when I'm done with studentofthegun.com, it'll have a section for the Patriot Bookshelf on it. So you'll be able to go there, and we'll add some. Maybe we'll subtract some, but probably not.
I don't know. RTFO, man.
Yeah. Once you put it on the list, you can't take it off.
That's the way it is. Once it's on the list, it's got to stay on the list. It's in the 3-ring binder.
Yeah.
All right. That good question. Thank you very much for being our SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week. And if you guys want to be the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week, call or text 682-207-7684. Leave us your message, and you too could be the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week on Student of the Gun Radio.
I don't know if I told Brett or not, but he needs to put his phone number in the email.
Oh, yeah.
Email Alex, ALEX, at studentofthegun.com. Your name, mailing address, phone number, and email.
There you go. All right, the next segment, we've got a go-team moment coming up. But before we do that, we're going to talk about our buddies at Frog Lube. It just works. Trust me, it does. It's green, it works, it smells minty, and it makes your guns run like they're supposed to. So check those guys out at froglube.com. Century Arms, the makers of the TP9 SA. And if you have not checked it out yet, go to our YouTube channel.
SOTG Homeroom.
Yeah, SOTG Homeroom. And my little homeroom review of the essay is right up there, so check that out. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and neighbors. And then Brownells. If you own a gun, Brownells has something for you, for sure. And that would be brownells.com. All right, let's go ahead and get into our go-team moment. That's why I say amen, my shot. A good shot, man. Thank you, Filter, for our go-team moment theme song. Now, this dude didn't have to bust any caps, but he was able to corral two burglars in the middle of the day. Now, check this sick and nasty, twisted stuff out. Jared, have you familiarized yourself with this story yet? I know I just dropped it in the show notes like 10 minutes ago, but the story comes to us. Well, originally it was shared with us from one of our on-site field reporters in Missouri, Fox4KC.com, and that KC is for Kansas City, 105.9 on your FM dial. And pistol-packing homeowner surprises suspected burglars. I thought they were going to throw another S word in me on there. Surprises suspected burglars. Turns out, this poor dude, all right, he had a house fire, right? Guy, it says, a fearless homeowner caught not one but two suspected burglars trying to steal his belongings. It says, and he interviews the guy, and the guy gives him an interview. Man, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, who would kick a man while he's already down, said Arthur Lindsay, who had just had a fire, right, at the home, and it collected up what was little was left of it, which was salvageable. And says, I mean, and he goes on, he says, I mean, those two burglars didn't say anything. They weren't scared. They were just like, oh, doop. When I walked across the street with my gun in hand, saw them running around my garage. So these guys are going to burglarize this poor dude's garage. His house burns down. He's across the street. He's got a garage there, and these scumbags, they're going to break into his garage. What is wrong with people in the world today? He didn't have to ventilate them, but quite frankly, he's talking about 35-year-old John Woodard and 31-year-old blah, 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 who are now charged with burglary and trespassing. Both suspects are being held on bail in the Henry County Jail. My neighbor saw them on Wednesday running around trying to steal my dining room chairs and lawn equipment and from my shed, Lindsay said. He waited for them to come back, and when they came back, he confronted them with his gun. And the deputy in this case says, the deputy was like, rock on. Deputy Weeks says, it's justice, man. You know, I would say karma will come back around and get you. I love it. Good for him. And and we say, good for you there, Mr. Lindsay. We're sorry for your bad luck there, losing your house in a fire, but we're glad that you corralled these vermin so that they don't go and rob anyone else, at least not until they bond out, and then they can go back on the street and do what they're planning on doing.
See, didn't you know that a gun was never used to stop a bad person from
crime?
Doing, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. According to the sandwich makers, there's never been a case where a citizen used a firearm to stop a crime.
I can't wait until we use actually, it's Bloomberg's Call Girls. I can't wait until we do another story about them because I have a new theme song.
Oh, do you have a new theme song? I'm sure that they're going to be stirring up some crap here pretty soon. They can't help themselves.
So if you guys are listening and you have a story from them, post it on our Facebook page.
Sandwich Maker story.
Yeah. Because I really want to use a song.
A call girl story.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're being misogynistic and you're denigrating the genre or the gender. I can't remember who I'm denigrating.
Whatever.
Am I denigrating the genre? If you use the word misogynist, denigrate, or genre more than once every 6 months, you might want to check yourself. I'm just saying, that's a helpful hint from me to you.
You've done that.
You might want to check yourself. I can do whatever I want. I'm not wrong. Oh. Yeah, hello? Do you not know that? I have not written that article yet. Apparently, I need to... Dude, based upon the zoo story, I need to get that article written. And I need to get it written soon. Because apparently people are just not getting it. I don't know. All right, folks, help me out here. You're listening to me. Look at me. Look at your phone. Look at your laptop, your iPad, whatever. Look at me. All right, imagine that I'm looking at you, okay? You can look at that little picture of the Student of the Gun logo. All right. How is it that your friends and neighbors still don't get it? How is this possible? I mean, we've been at this for years now, and there are people that still don't get it. I don't know what we have. You know what I just thought of? You remember Homie the Clown? The Homie Don't Play That? He had the giant like it was like the rubber bowling pin or whatever that he would whack them with. They would speak out of turn, and he would go over and he would whack them and say, "Homie, don't play that." Maybe we need to issue out like these damn it dolls or something to our audience. We can deputize them as Student of the Gun ignorance warriors or the ignorance police. And when people say stupid stuff, they're just whack them with the damn it doll. So you need to get it. All right. The main theme is armed at the zoo. You're like, armed at the zoo? What are we going to talk about, Paul? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, if you got a black rifle, guess what? Velocity Triggers has a trigger for you. They're designed for precision, and you want to check those guys out at velocitytriggers.com. And any of our, whether it's Velocity, Century, Barnell's, whatever, I want you guys to, if you have the opportunity, if you're a social media dude or dudette and you're fiddle farting around online, hit them up and say, hey, I heard about you guys on Student of the Gun. Thanks for sponsoring them so they could have those cool pop filters and black carbon steel microphones. Now, if you're going to carry a gun, if you want to carry a gun, if you need to carry a gun, not because you know that you're going to a fight, but because you think, well, the world's an imperfect place. Do I wear my seatbelt because I know I'm going to be in a crash soon? No, I don't. I wear my seatbelt because I think that there could be a crash, and I'm not so much worried about myself, but I'm worried I don't know who I'm going to meet at the next intersection, right? That's why we carry defensive firearms. We carry guns on our bodies because we don't know who we're going to encounter when we step out of our front door. It's not so much I'm worried about my own behavior. I'm worried about the behavior of the strangers that I'm going to encounter accidentally at the gas station and so forth, or at the zoo. So if you want to do that, you might want to check out crossbreedholsters.com. They can help you secure a gun comfortably and conceal it on your body. And if you don't want to conceal it, you can do that too. So, crossbreedholsters.com.
George of the jungle, strong as he can be. Watch out for that tree. George of the jungle lives a life that's free. Ah, watch out for that tree. When it gets
You guys like that? That's Weird Al singing the George of the Jungle theme. And thank you, Weird Al, for that. And thank you for that fun concert that we went to a couple weeks ago. It was a good time.
It was.
Why did we just give you a George of the Jungle? Because that was as close to pro zoo music or zoo-related music that I could come up with on the fly. So there you have it. How to be armed at the zoo? Well, we should probably be armed all the time, right? But what is this being armed at the zoo thing? Well, apparently, somebody is not getting it. They're not... Folks, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, I don't know how much more plain or clear we can be here. Do you have a concealed carry permit? Yes. But you're like, I shouldn't have to have a permission slip. Okay, rock on. That's called eliminating the permission slip is called constitutional carry. It means that we are affirming the constitutional right for you to be armed, whether I can see it or whether I can't see it, all the time, as long as you're a citizen in good standing, you're not a foreign invader. You can do that, right? But we've gotten so wrapped around the axle over this open carry versus concealed carry. It's so insane right now in America that we're having this like retarded argument with each other. We actually have open carry people arguing that it's more tactically sound, to this and that. And then they're like, no, it's more tactically sound. It's like, dude, stop yourselves. You're having the wrong argument. The argument you should be having is whether or not do I need a permission slip to carry the gun on me, yes or no. Not whether you can see it or can't see it or whether or not there's a bump under your shirt and I think it might be a gun so that, you're brandishing or whatever. And we get all wrapped around the axle, all these... Going out to the Target and the Starbucks with your SKS or your, whatever, and I know they're ramping it up in there. This guy's super, super proud of not only his Tavor, his flat dark earth Tavor, but he's super proud apparently of his big fat ass belly. Oh, did I say that? Am I allowed to say that, Jared? Did I just denigrate him? Why is it that we feel the need to use firearms as... I can't say it. Can I say that on the...
Yeah, no.
No, don't say it.
PP extensions?
Yeah.
You can say that.
I can say phallus extensions.
Elongators?
Phallus elongators, Dudes, stop yourselves. So here's the deal. Here's what they're jacked up about. This guy from Ohio, this guy from Cincinnati, is all jacked up about the fact that the St. Louis Zoo has a no firearms sign. They have a plastic sign? Jared, do they have a plastic sign there? What? Yeah, they have a plastic sign there. When you get to the zoo, do they run you through metal detectors?
I've never been to a zoo that has.
Do they have TSA agents that do full naked body scans on you as you go into the zoo? Well, what are you saying, Paul? What's your point there? What are you saying? I'm just asking. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just a dude observing the situation, pontificating, asking the question. Do they have full naked body scanners? Do they have metal detectors?
If they do, I'm going to go get a job there.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe I would.
I mean, well, I don't know. You gotta be careful there.
Who goes to zoos?
Yeah, well, I don't know if hot chicks go to zoos or not. Oh, I just became misogynistic.
How did we get on the hot chick subject? I don't know what
you did. It.
What
you got in my brain? All right, the story this story that prompted my brain says, zoo granted temporary restraining order against man planning to bring gun onto property. So, in another case of grandstanding, an Ohio man, and I'm just editorializing there, decides that he's going to go online and tell everyone that he's coming to the zoo and he's bringing his rifle with him. Oh, Lord in heaven, folks. St. Louis, Missouri, KMOV.com. The story's referenced from KMOV.com, but it's also KCTV5.com. The St. Louis Zoo was granted a temporary restraining order against an Ohio man who's planning to bring a gun onto their property Saturday. The zoo filed the paperwork asking the court for a restraining order against Jeffrey Smith Monday morning. Smith told News 4 that he was planning to enter the zoo at 1:30 p.m. Saturday because he believes Missouri law allows open carry and the zoo is publicly owned. Whatever. In an email sent Saturday morning, Smith said he plans to enter the zoo wearing, now he says he's wearing an openly worn empty holster. God in heaven, I don't know what to say. And what the hell is up with that? Jared, can I say hell? Too late, I already did. What is up with these people walking around with empty holsters on? Like in the open, like empty holsters. What is the point in that? That's almost like, you remember that fake holster gun thing that they were trying to sell?
Yeah.
The Intimidator or something. It was like a molded, it was like one piece that looked like a gun in a Phobos holster that you just bought and put on your belt so people would think you were armed. I don't even know how to address something like that. In their restraining order document, the zoo says that around May 31st, Smith contacted them to question their weapons policy, demanding that their no weapons sign be removed from the entrances. After the zoo officials told Smith that they would not change their policy, Smith created a Facebook thing saying Firearms Rights Challenge, which would take place on the 13th, which was this Saturday. So here's what happened. So rather than just, I don't know, dude, I don't even know what to tell you people. I really freaking don't. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it. We're not winning. You know what, Jared? I'm frustrated over here. But all these dudes, all you dudes out there, all you Michelin men with your Tavor rifles and what have you. And no, I'm not dinging on people with Tavors. Get off your high horse. I've got one myself. It's a good rifle. Works very well. Doesn't it, Jared? Yes. He said yes.
The high horse?
No, the Tavor.
Oh.
It's not a Tavor.
You divorced a high horse?
It's a Tavor.
Oh, Tavor.
I was corrected because I didn't know that it was named after the Tavor mountain range in Israel because I am lacking in my Israeli geography. But anyway, long story short, I got a question for you. All you guys, are you open carry activists with your SKSs in the Starbucks? Where are you come polling time? Where are you? Do you ever train with that rifle? Well, what do you mean? Do I ever train with that rifle? Do you ever train with that rifle? I know how to use it. Okay, I got you now.
Do you want me to play the zoo audio?
You think it's worth listening to?
I don't know. I haven't heard it yet.
How long is it?
I have 2 seconds until it starts.
Go for it.
City leaders are hoping a restraining order will stop people with guns from descending on the St. Louis Zoo.
Last week, News 4 first told you about an Ohio gun rights advocate planning to protest the zoo's policy to not allow guns. That protest was planned for tomorrow, but today a circuit court judge issued a temporary restraining order. Now many are wondering if that protest will still happen. Mugo Digwe is live with the Bommarito Street Fleet with the latest. Mugo.
Yeah, Corey and Jasmine, that protest had been planned for 1:30 at the Southgate entrance of the zoo. Now a judge is saying that's not going to happen, at least not until after June 22nd. But a gun owner we spoke with says he'd rather it not happen at all.
Total ludicrous. I mean, I just thought this guy is a total idiot.
That's what Stephen King says came to mind when he heard that Jeffrey Smith, a gun advocate, was planning to protest the St. Louis Zoo's policy of not having guns in their premises.
Did she say he was an advocate?
From the gun community, and I don't think he's speaking for all of us.
King owns Metro Shooting Supplies, a gun store in Bridgeton. He's also a former police officer and gun instructor. He says he believes that concealed weapons should be allowed in all public places, but that Smith is going about all this the wrong way.
When you're in a public place and you're trying to push your ideas on people who may not agree with you, I think sometimes that does more harm than good for the main cause.
Under Missouri law, guns aren't allowed in gated areas of amusement parks, but Smith argues that the zoo isn't the same as an amusement park because it's a public tax-supported place. The zoo, in turn, took the case to court. A temporary restraining order has now been placed on Smith. It's in effect until June 22nd. King says he hopes this puts an end to the protest.
There's no reason to get up into people's face and press your views upon them, because that just gives resistance. It's better to educate.
All right, well, go ahead and
I called Jeffrey
I just
Smith.
can't
He says he's
believe
still
that she said he was an advocate.
She's not of American descent.
He's an advocate.
She's pretty, though.
Oh. Here's the deal. Here's what happened. Apparently, we got an update right here. It says that he did go to the zoo with his empty holster. Yeah, and I pulled the story up and I put, St. Louis Zoo protest, and it says it was the latest update, and I opened it and they did that sneaky thing, and it had the headline. It said, "To read this article, please complete the following survey." I don't have time to complete your stupid survey.
I'm gonna put that stuff on our articles.
Not. All right. So here's the deal, folks. Rifles and bottom line, what is the bottom line here? The bottom line is this dude's not doing us any favors. Now he's got the court involved. Now he's got, it's not like the courts were ever with us anyway. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. The local news, they're never with you. Anytime they get the opportunity to make you look stupid, they're going to. That's just what they do. They're afraid. What's up?
I was just saying we need to move to the next story because we're over 40 minutes already.
Oh, okay.
And it goes with this zoo thing.
Yeah, the next one we've got, you say, well, why would I want to be armed at a zoo? Well, there's several reasons, because number one, you're armed all the time because you're intelligent, and you just are. We had at that, is it the exact same? No, it's the Kansas City Zoo, not the St. Louis Zoo. The Kansas City, Missouri Zoo, if you guys forgot about this, you want to play this quick audio clip from there about that people was running and bam, bam. It gives you this is what happens when animals run wild.
A breaking news update on shots fired outside the Kansas City Zoo. Now, we just got this amateur video into our newsroom. It shows the moments after shots rang out in the zoo's parking lot. KMBC9 viewer posted this video to our Facebook page.
The shooting happening just after 4 o'clock when a fight broke out in the parking lot. And we have new reaction from families who saw it all.
They shot and everybody just started running. There was multiple fights.
I heard pow, 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 and she's like, ah! She was hollering and screaming, and I'm like, what's the matter? What's the matter? She's like, Mama, didn't you hear that? They're shooting.
Oh, I thought that was a dude. No one was injured in the shooting. Police tell us several arrests were made related to the fights that took place during the incident.
News Chopper 9 HD also on the scene. KMBC9 Scott McDonald is also there.
He joins us now live. Scott, what have we learned since our 5 o'clock newscast?
Yeah, we've been able to move closer. We're right outside the zoo at this point in time. As you can see, pretty empty right now. A lot of the folks have left. Now, it is important to note that the shooting did not actually happen here. It was over the hill there in the parking lots of Swope Park, so a ways away from where we are right now. But let's tell you how this all played out earlier today. Seems like it was just around 3 o'clock, and it looks like some in the large crowds began to get unruly, and that escalated.
All right, so here's the deal. This is what you need to know. Most zoos are in major metropolitan areas. What are most major metropolitan areas? Metropolitan.
Oh.
They're metro, yeah, but they're run by Democrats. Most of them are. They're populated by Democrats. They're populated by criminals and vermin. And even if the vermin might not be inside of the zoo, and they may be inside the zoo because it was free zoo day.
Can I do a real quick disclaimer?
Sure.
This is not a news story.
No, it's not a news story.
I just want to let you guys know.
This is just one of those, it's why would you want to be?
Yeah. That it actually happens. I just want to let them know.
All right. So there's lots of reasons why you need to be armed at the zoo.
Well, this one here, obviously, if you're in Kansas City, Missouri, then you've probably heard about this story. But what am I looking for here?
Well, we've gone to the Cleveland Zoo. You and I have. We've all gone as a family. We've gone to the Detroit Zoo. The Detroit Zoo. Isn't that just Detroit?
We went to Detroit Zoo?
Yeah, well, I did.
Oh, Detroit.
Isn't that just Detroit?
Yeah.
No, there actually is a Detroit Zoo. It used to be really nice.
Did you say Detroit?
Detroit. You know who says Detroit? Midwestern people. Hey, are you from Detroit? Yeah, I'm from Detroit. Now, what the Audubon Park in New Orleans? It's a nice place, but you have to go through New Orleans to get to it. Need I say more?
And you better make sure that it's not summertime when you go.
Make sure it's not dark either.
Yeah.
So. All right, I think that brings us up to the very end of it. You ready to put the plug in this one?
I heard pow, pow, pow. Yeah, I think I'm ready to put the plug in this one.
All right, don't forget to watch our TV show. Watch Student of the Gun Television on Roku. That's right, we have a Roku channel. People are like, well, what channel are you on, Paul? No, we are the channel. Yeah, and if you don't have a Roku player, check this out, hippies. You can go to Walmart, buy one for less than $40, take it home. You have no monthly fees, and you get to watch us every week on demand. How cool is that? Check it out on Roku. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Hope that we made your Monday just a little bit more bright. Remember, beginner once, student for life.